Hello everyone and welcome back to Off-Road Adventures. Today we're taking you to Osceola National Forest. It's north of Gainesville and Ocala. There's a lot to explore up there, but we've never been there. So I reached out to Florida Trail Stompers through Facebook and we got leads on a couple of trails that were worth hitting. So we started there and just started to explore after that. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Today we're taking our 2008 FJ Cruiser, followed by Tyler in his 2007, and Chad in his Rivian R1T. We are down once we turned on to 285 from 441. In order to maintain a little bit of ride comfort on the bumpy roads, we only dropped to about 20 psi this time around though. Here we are turning on to 285 Delta, and that's where the real fun started to begin.
God. You don't really know yet. Yeah, good corner there.
That pretty much sums up our thoughts on most of these holes when entering them. Because we were exploring, we didn't really know how deep any of them were without testing the waters. So whenever we saw grass growing in the middle, it was a good enough sign that, you know, it's probably within tire depth. But when the grass started disappearing is when it kind of got sketchy in some spots. So when it looked too sketchy, Gage was a good enough man to go and actually wade in and test the waters for us. You gotta be real careful when you do that though, because there are hazards within the water, be it snakes, alligators, or any number of other things. It wasn't too long before we came across a hole that was ominous enough to send Gage.
There's like no rut. I mean,
so there's a couple things to note here. Gage is using a walking stick for a few different reasons. One, to kind of poke and prod and see what the depth is before he steps in it in front of him. Two, because his flip-flops kept getting stuck in the soft bottom underneath and kept tripping. And three, just to kind of brush ahead and make sure he doesn't accidentally run into any wildlife. Also, he had no idea that he was recording this, and neither did we in the next scene either, but that's okay. I decided to keep it.
Yeah, it gets a little deep right here, but yeah, I'm walking out. It's coming up here. We're good. Oh yeah. I was going to walk to this dry spot. What do you want to?
Yeah, it's pretty seasonal, but we have no idea what to expect. And those holes like that, I mean, we couldn't tell how deep that was at all. They looked real bad.
And that completes 285. On to the next one. It wasn't too long before this nice improved forest road got real wet, to the point where we would have to stop and assess what we were doing next.
I'm gonna turn my alternator off and see. Oh, Gage, you mind walking down the middle? Yeah.
Fine and safe.
Yeah.
But you never know. Sometimes it doesn't. What's going on?
Switch gears. That's a terrible spot to switch gears.
Yeah. Oh, straight down the middle.
Yep, look out.
Oh.
And just like that, we go from making tidal waves to bone dry again. After riding the improved roads for a while, we decided to take a shortcut towards the campsite where we intended to have lunch. It was a little less traveled. We enjoyed it.
Wanna be the person that you call up when you're down. Wanna be the first who knows all of your deepest secrets. Can I be the one who wakes you up before you miss your ride? 'Cause I wanna be close to you, and I wanna show you something new.
That's better. We have to go ahead and a wildfire. So we can, not get us
It's probably a controlled burn.
Yeah, probably.
When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the sky. Cause we're flying colors now. Gonna try to keep the pace, but someday we will find that the world has changed, but we stay true to each other. I will always be there for you whenever you need my help. Taking my time to be your rock. I don't ever wanna be apart. You gotta know, every day I got your back, yeah, you can count on me for that. So put your hand in mine, I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the
wasn't long before we came across something that we really needed checked out.
Show you something new. You gotta know, every day I got your back. Yeah, you can count on me. Yeah. So put your hand in mine. I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the sky. That's what flying colors now. That's what flying colors now.
By driving at a slower, a bit more consistent speed, you can create what's called a bow wave, a wave that kind of forms in front of the vehicle. This helps the water dip in the engine bay area and keeps your intake and starter and alternator, amongst other things, safe as you do some kind of water crossings. And obviously Tyler here is not running a circle, so it's even more important. For the record, we do share these trails with ATVs and dirt bikes, so be respectful of each other and keep an eye out.
That was a cool trail.
That was the end? We're still on it?
We got like another centimeter on the map, but who the hell knows? If it's like this, it's...
We eventually made it to the end of our shortcut to the West Tower Campground where we were going to have lunch. Now, we were going to show you all the food that we prepped and all that, but this isn't that kind of off-roading show. So instead, check out these legends, because that's all you're going to get. After lunch, we simply headed south and explored. pretty crazy obstacle here. One real reminiscent of the Ocala Badge of Honor Trail. This was followed by a water crossing that was actually got deeper and deeper, so I decided to power through it as I heard my exhaust just bubbling out. It felt more convincing than it was.
Yeah, you're good.
We managed to find a creek to cross. It was flowing actually, so this is not something that you want to just kind of hang out in. You want to get through it. You get in, you get out. It's so quiet in this thing. Let's enjoy this for a minute and just see how peaceful it is going through the woods in this Rivian. This next water crossing is the one that actually made the cover shot for this video. We did test the waters. We knew it was deep. We knew it was a bad sort of situation to get ourselves into, but we thought we could power through it and winch out the other side. Let's see how it goes.
Got it.
We already had the controller for the winch running through the window there, and Gage obviously recognized the problem immediately and got right to work. Because there was no traction at all, we winched from tree to tree to tree on either side, going back and forth looking for it, in an attempt to try to climb out on the vehicle's power a little bit more than just the winch, because at this point we were running on just battery power.
Alright. Next one.
Have you ever made any dumb life choices? Yeah. I was sitting in water on the driver's side. That's right, it was up past the seat cushion.
Alright.
Worse things have happened.
Well, we
we blew out a tire when we were in that water, so we had to change this front tire. We used an exhaust jack to do that. The generator is currently giving us some flickering, so we aired up as much as we could, up to about 30 instead of 40, just to save on energy, and we're gonna get out of here and call it a day. But yeah, that was cool.
Turns out our alternator generator was just fine. Water had just gotten into one of the connectors, causing that light to flicker. By the time we drove our 4.5 hours south, all the way back home, the light had gone away. The car pretty much fixed itself. That said, we did take the entire thing apart and clean and disinfect everything. Dried all the sound deadening material, laid it out in the sun for a day or two, put it all back together, and the truck has never actually been so clean in its life. So yeah, I'll chalk that one up to a good experience. I know we don't post often, but subscribe to the channel and we'll see you next time on Off-Road Adventures.
What a trooper.
Yeah.